bar and be content with having no pasture. And so it is, come on Stephen, I'm right about here now. So it is that the word says that David here now is put on the throne. And you've got to understand the very position that you don't want. God is getting ready to sit you in. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, guess what, beloved? You've been elected for this position. Is there anybody here that thanks God that I don't have to be like Barack Obama? I don't have to be like Romney, where I'm running a campaign that I may not win. But I thank God that my destiny has already elected me. And God is getting ready to seat me in heavenly places. I'm going to leave you here. The word said, I don't know if it was the inaugural ball, but I heard the first thing on David's agenda was to bless the house of Saul. Ironically, the inspirational word said to love your enemies and bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you and pray for them that despitefully use you and persecute you. And so while he was the servant of Saul, Saul persecuted him. He tried to kill him, tried to annihilate him. But as soon as the Lord put David in Saul's position, David turns around and said, I must bless Saul. Now, ironically, Saul was killed. Jonathan was killed. But David said, there's got to be somebody left of the house of Saul, that I can show kindness to. And you better learn that when you come into your season, to seek out the ones that tried to hinder you, tried to block you from getting to what God has for you. Lean on your neighbor and say, neighbor, while I was on the way to destiny, I stopped by the Hallmark store and I got me a box of thank you cards. And when I get to my place of destiny, I'ma send out a postcard to everybody that said I never make it. On one side, there would be a picture of my brand new life. On the other side, on the left side, I have a thank you note saying thank you for all that you said. Thank you for all that you done. And on the right side, y'all not with me in here, I have a address that said welcome to my brand new life. Look at your neighbor, say neighbor, my postcards are in the mail, and I hope that one don't come to your house. Y'all will catch that on the way home. And so the word said that David said there's somebody that I can bless. Look at your neighbor, say neighbor, my handicap is about to be my blessing. For the King that the prophet was there. And I heard, beloved, that he said, there's one by the name of Mephibosheth. He's lame in both feet, and he's dwelling in Lodebar. And can I tell you something? When your day and when your hour comes, no matter what condition you're in, no matter where you are, God is able to bless you anywhere. Somebody say neighbor. Look at the neighbor, say neighbor. No matter what condition you're in, God's got a blessing with your name on it. No matter where your condition has you, God has. The word said, beloved of God, that Mephibosheth, he was content with being in Lodebar. He had a servant by the name of Kiba that was taking advantage of the situation. And remember, I told you, you've got to be careful of who you allow to minister to you while you're wounded. Because everybody don't mean you good, but some folks are going to use your disadvantage for their advantage. While you're down, they're going to keep you down. While you're lonely, they're going to keep you alone. While you're depressed, they're going to keep you discouraged. But I heard the Lord say, he said to Ziba, he said, I need you to do me a favor. Man of God, I need you to go down to Lodebar and bring Mephibosheth to me. I love the Lord because Ashanti, the Lord already knew that I wasn't able to come running when he called. So he anointed somebody to come and get me from where I was and bring me to where I needed to be. Tell your neighbor, pack your bags. God is sending somebody to give you a ride. Get ready for love of God. You're mine. And when Mephibosheth got before the king, and works, you tapped it right on the head. What I love about it is when he came into his presence, he bowed down, which is a posture of worship as well as prayer.
Yes, yes.
And you've got to make sure no matter where you've been dwelling, or no matter what condition you are in, it does not steal your ability to worship. Is anybody here who understands, oh God, I may have lost a lot of things, but I didn't lose my worship. Word says that Sister Drusilla, when he bowed himself, he allowed the king to speak first. And when we come into the problem is, Sister Drusilla, when we get into the presence of the king, we want to talk his ear off. Instead of waiting to see what he has to say to us first. Oh God. I come to find out in a conversation, somebody has to talk and somebody has to listen. And because God is God and God alone, you should allow him to speak first. Because can I tell you something? If you allow him to speak first, sometimes what he says will change what you got to say. Because the very thing you were getting ready to ask him for, he was about to tell you, I'm already sending it. So therefore, you don't have to waste your breath asking me for something that's already on the way. But just give me glory that it is on the way. Oh God, I thank you. And so it is that the king began began to say, David began to say, I'm going to bless you because you are a descendant of the house of Saul. And I made a promise to your father that if I made it to the throne, I would take care of his children. And you've got to understand something. And again, I'm going back to the inspirational thought. This is one vow none of us are able to make. God, if you allow me to make it to destiny, I promise you I'll bless my enemies that I met along the way. The Bible says that Mephibosheth, and Tara, this is what discourages me. A lot of times we allow our situation, our condition, to change what we think about ourselves. Is anybody who realizes insecurity and low self-esteem is a product, our God, of a bad situation that you allowed to get to you? For the word says that after hearing and the pronouncing that he was going to be blessed for the rest of his life, he had the nerve to say, what am I that you would look on such a dead dog as I am? Touch your neighbor, say, neighbor, don't allow your condition to change your perception of yourself. No matter how handicapped you are, you're still blessed. No matter where you've been living, you're still prosperous. Your condition, your situation, your atmosphere for the moment might not be conducive for who you are, but just tell your neighbor, get ready for the shift. 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 And the word says that Mephibosheth ate at the king's table continually as one of the king's sons for the rest of his life. Yet he was still lame in both feet. I want to minister this word to you and then we're going. No matter what your handicap is, it doesn't disqualify you from being blessed. And the question still remains is, Lord, do I want you to heal me of my handicap or bless me despite of my handicap? If the Lord would have healed him, Sister Drusilla, of his handicap, he would have annihilated the meaning of his name. For to destroy shame means, God, I thank you, to prosper even while in a shameful situation. We've got to understand, beloved of God, in this hour and in this season, God is not always going to bring you out, but he's going to prosper you while you're in it. Hold your hands up high. Hold your hands up high. I believe there are some Mephibosheths in the house. With a heart of thanksgiving,